Okay, we're now recording. So, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming along this evening. We're looking just to chat to you. I know we have been a little bit quiet over the last couple of weeks. We're looking to chat to you on our plans over the next month and how we're really going to get things moving with Bizmerang. Myself and Guy just been speaking over the last week about some ideas and how we're going to get things moving. And Guy's going to take you through a presentation. Is that right, Guy?
Yep.
Just in relation to that, some exciting news, and hopefully you'll really look forward to hearing this and find out more. So, Guy, do you want to take it on from there?
Go Bizmerangs, go Bizmerang. Just trying to liven it up a bit there, Shane. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, see it, yeah.
Okay. So thanks very much, Shane. Really what we intended to do here was sort of give you a very brief sort of update of where we've got to, where we are, so a few little basic stats, and then what we're planning to do over the next 3 or 4 months into the next stage. So without further ado, so some basic stats. So as of this evening, we have 203 members, 122 in the last 30 days. We have 8 active circle hosts and 11 active circles. So our active circle hosts are less than what I expected, and our active circles, number of circles that we've got hosting are less than what we expected. But the membership numbers are about roughly where we did expect them to be. And the engagement within the circles is actually very high. When you look at the stats, we come up as excellent all the way across. So generally in good order and where we expect it to be at this stage. What we have learned, and please do feel free to jump in here at this stage and tell us what things that you have earned, or we maybe leave it to the Q&A at the end. But the Bizmerang itself, for us, it does 90% of what we wanted it to do, so we're more than happy with that. Bearing in mind that when we first came up with the concept of the Bizmerang app, we had never heard of Mighty Networks. We were thinking about building our own or intending to build our own. But in fact, actually, this has proved to be a much easier, much better way of going forward. We have one element left to test yet, which is the payment side of it. I'm sure you would all agree with us that the most powerful and engaging circles are focused around bringing people together with a mutual purpose. And that's not just my words. I'd love to say that they're mine, but it's straight out of the mouth of Gina Bianchini at Mighty Networks. But I can't stress how much I would say that I would concur with that, with the experience that we've had over the last 3 or 4 months. The other thing that is coming out quite enormously for us is that critical mass, critical amount of members is pretty critical, or is pretty, well, it would be if it's critical mass. It's pretty crucial. You can see that with most circles when they start, that they have a lot of highly engaged people in, and it's great for the first couple of weeks, and it's still great after that, but you begin to see a sort of a core number of active members who are in and involved, and etc. And it's not just us; there are other active members in other circles as well. But it's a certain percentage, but there's also a certain percentage of lurkers, and then there's a certain percentage that have joined and don't come back. But actually, our returning numbers are more than 50%. So if you have 20 people in your circle, about 50%, about 10 of them are generally coming back, even though you might only see 2 or 3 people who are actively engaged on a regular basis. The engagement is king. The engagement is sets the circle aside, of rather than it being you as a circle host and the world according to you, actually gets a little bit boring for people further on down the line. And what really makes a great circle great is all the engagement coming from the other people within that circle. So Hence, that's also why we changed the name from Circle Leaders to Circle Hosts, and that essentially what we're hoping that you do, or knowing that what you do when you do it well, is that you're promoting that engagement within that circle. And one thing that I have really picked up on recently is that content planning is key to an easier life. Now, I know we all went through our little course that we designed at the beginning of this, and we finished up with a content plan. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands because I know it might not be that encouraging of how many people have actually done a content plan and have actually stuck to it. You know who you are, even on the recording. Okay. But I am just my own experience in what I had doing with the Circle Leader Circle and with Circle Hosts and training was that, in fact, actually, when you get into the planning side of it and you do the planning up front and you produce a lot of the content up at the beginning, life becomes so much easier. And what I'm doing with Wantrepreneur is actually, before it goes live, I'll have the first 6 weeks with content up and ready and loaded, and well, actually not loaded, but the majority of it in a scheduled posts before we even turn it on. And I know, therefore, then from then on, it'll take me maybe an hour a day at that on the content side of it. So content planning is absolutely key to an easier life. So I consider the business as it stands at the moment as to go back to what Karen was talking about earlier on. We have literally just been born. We're still in the maternity suite. But now it's what we need to do now is learn to walk or toddle. We're doing the crawling bit at the moment, learning our lessons, learning how the world works, and what burns and what's pointy and what hurts, but what makes us smile as well. So our next stage is that when we're going to learn to walk, we need to prove a business model. And that's saying, as I say, that's us as Bizmerang, and primarily myself and Shane. For us to get this business to the next stage where we attract in a significant amount of investment, we need to have proven the business model. Now, we have proven most of it apart from the payment side of it. And we've just seen the lessons that we've learned that are pretty key to how this business will work. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding a bit commercial, but then again, I am responsible for being the commercial side of this. And I'm presuming that the vast majority of you are here because you are here not for the love of it, but because you want to make it a commercial success. So to do that, we need you to build circles that are worth your time and effort. We can help you as much as we possibly can and will do, and support you and help you, etc. But it's you, the hosts, that are key to your circle. And hence, that's also why when it comes to taking revenue, you take the vast majority of the revenue, because it's your circles and therefore it's your effort. But we all need to take our first steps together because we are still in that learning phase. So the first thing that first announcement that we're making this evening is that the mastermind training that I did with Mighty Networks, I'm going to pass on to you. I've deleted some of it. For example, they have a thing called office hours, and when you do the training, you'll see that they refer to a thing called office hours, which is essentially very similar to our content chat, but it's 2 hours long. And believe me, I think there's a few villages in the Midwest of the US who are missing their idiots who appear on that content chat. But so really, I've said we can put it up later on if you want it. But I think the training from Gina B and Keeney, again, not as well organized as you might expect or hope, but actually, rather than me recreating it, the mastermind training consists of largely of the recordings that I made on screen of Gina's presentations. Each one's about an hour long. There's 5 of them, and I've then lifted directly from the Mighty Network's own host mastermind training, various other swipe files and downloads. It's made up of a series of 5 one-hour presentations, as I say, by Gina Bianchini. And there's about 4 hours of prep exercises that you should do as well. It will be hosted in a Bizmerang course that will open on Monday morning. And rather than us saying we're going to do over the next 5 weeks and help each other out, etc., the course will be open. Please do crack on in your own time. We will open up the content chats again on Thursday evenings so that we have that support and mutual question and answer sessions on that course. So so as I say, it'll be open Monday morning, and please knock yourselves out all next week. So the second training that's available, and that's the training on taking payments. Again, this is lifted directly from Mighty Network's own training, and it's delivered by Tom Aaron, who's the chief tech at Mighty Networks. Again, the training that is now available is a series of 2 one-hour presentations by the Mighty Networks tech team. It too is hosted, actually it's not hosted in a Bizmerang course, it's hosted in a post that goes live at 10 o'clock UK time this evening. And again, when we meet on Thursdays, please do share and discuss on that. Now, I think that in fact, the payments training is probably missing a precursor or a preview of what they take you through there. And the aim here is not that as soon as you've done that training that you automatically just go and set up your courses before or set up your payment networks and payment gateways. And the primary reason for that is we haven't set up our Stripe account yet. So please don't try and do it. Otherwise, we'll have to delete the whole thing. The second thing is that when you do set up your training course, actually it will be much easier for the admin side of it for us to ensure that you get paid, that if you come back to either myself or Shane, it'll probably be me and say, this is the element that I want to charge for. So whether it be this course or this circle, etc. And we'll go through the payment options and payment and the bundle options and all that sort of stuff. But do those first 2 hours or watch those, in fact, not even 2 hours, they're 2 10-minute presentations. Go through them. And once you understand how the payment system is basically set up and works, then come back and talk to us about how you want to set up your circle and your courses and the bundles and plans that you do between the two of them. Essentially, very briefly, how it works is that you create a course or a circle, you make it a paid course or a circle, and when you set it up like you did last time and all the existing circles as well, it creates a landing page that you can adjust and all that sort of stuff. But because it's a paid circle or paid element, there's a lot more elements in there that are automatically created, such as the calls to action, such as the various descriptions and the bullet points that go with it, etc. It looks pretty neat. And then you then go and create a plan where you bring in the elements such as the course or the circle into the plan, and that is what is promoted. They explain it a bit better, go through it, and we can discuss it all again next Thursday. If you have any questions on it on the way through, please ping me, because I have asked also quite a lot of questions already. And if I can't answer it, I'll get you an answer. Okay? But please watch those 2 10-minute videos first. Okay. So we are now going to start. So there's 2 elements that we need to test. So first is payments. The second thing is how we promote this business. Okay. So let's just go back a little bit and remembering the course that we did originally. Let's have a little think about our product and our members. The first off is why members join. And for us, it's the circle stupid. It's the economy stupid, as Bill Clinton used to say. It's the circle stupid. Initially, people join the network for a single circle. And if the quality in each circle is good enough, then they will go from that circle out to another one. So, for example, people are not joining Bizmerang at the moment because there is a whole heap of fantastic circles and fantastic networking opportunities in there right now, because there just isn't. What there is, though, is some really cool circles that are useful, that attract people in. Okay, and that's perfectly natural and almost how we expected it at these very early stages. When we have a lot more circles and the quality is good, then people will start and join from one circle to another circle to another circle. But for the time being, it's the circles that people originally join. Okay, so our strategy right now will be to ensure that we have a few really good circles, and then concentrate on promoting those circles first, and then the Bizmerang brand. So let me just say that again. Okay, so our strategy is to ensure that we have really good circles, or a few really good circles, and then concentrate on promoting those circles first rather than the brand. Okay, with that in mind, this is the offer that we want to make to you guys. We are going to spend 10K, 10,000 good British pounds on test marketing, and £7,000 of that will be on digital media, i.e. that will be £1,000 on 7 circles. Now, we have more budget after that, but initially this is what we're going to do. Okay, but bearing in mind that when we spend £1,000 on each one of 7 circles, i.e. £7,000 in total, it is the circle host that is taking the vast majority of the benefit in this one. Okay, so we have some conditions on that. The first is that the circle host completes the mastermind course. The circle already has signups worth £50 per month. Now, you don't necessarily have to take in that cash. You do, though, have to have people have given their credit card details and are now in a free trial period or whatever it may be. The third thing is that the host shares their planning docs with Bizmerang Towers. Okay, and that will become a lot more obvious when you have done the mastermind course. So we're looking to see a single document that has your year in the life of, your content plans, etc. And that the host provides match funds of £500 per circle. Now, you don't have to restrict your circle to Northern Ireland, and you don't have to take up this offer if you don't want to. Okay, but when I show you some stats in a second, you'd be mad not to. Oops, I went back there. I should have gone this way. So let's just take a look at some very basic probable numbers, and bearing in mind that this is based on pure assumptions and taking basic data from what's published in various other places, but from my own experience as well. Okay, and that to start off with, we're going to assume that a 4-to-1 return over 12 months, i.e. for every £1 you spend, you'll get £4 back over 12 months. Okay, so let's assume then that for the ad spend in month 1 generates membership fees over a 12-month period, i.e. the total ad spend in this first phase will be £10,500, i.e. £7,000 from Bizmerang Towers plus £500 in each of 7 circles. So that totals £10,500. And at a 4-to-1 ratio, that should generate gross membership fees of £42,000 over 12 months. Now, forgetting or negating at the moment the cost of collections, but the gross revenue to host, therefore, is 80% of £42,000, i.e. £33,600. So the host's return on investment is probably going to be something like 9.6 to 1, i.e. for every pound that you spend, you'll get £9.60 back. And that's because you take 80% of the revenue and we're providing 66.5% of the advertising spend. Just so you know, the revenue to Bizmerang is about 0.96 or just under 1-to-1. And that is partly because we includes our cost of management, but not some initial design work. So the general timings, as I said, the mastermind course opens to Circle hosts on Monday morning. The payments capability will be open no later than the 5th of August, okay? And it'll open to existing hosts only. It'll probably be earlier than that. In fact, I know it'll be earlier than that. I'm just managing expectations to make sure that you know it's the 5th of August. Final applications for circles to be used for the first circles to go in campaign 1. The applications need to be into Bizmerang by Monday, the 2nd of September. The idea being here is that once you have seen how the payments work and done the Mighty Networks mastermind course, it gives you time, if you want to adjust your existing circles or create new circles or whatever you want to do to take the learnings that you've taken over the last 3 or 4 months and build something fantastic before we really start promoting it. So we'll make a decision a week later. The first 5 circles are chosen, 7 in total, because there are going to be Belfast Local will be one of the circles and Wanapreneur will be another one of the circles. And then the day after that, we'll be looking for the ad asset requirements, brief to host. At that point, I'll give you a brief on what assets we need. So we are going to be running a Facebook campaign. Therefore, we need a picture. We need your basic description. We need the link to your host or to your plan where you want people to drive to and all that sort of stuff. And then the plan will go live. Then you have we require the assets back by the end of that week. And then on Friday, September, funds in from you match funds in from the hosts. And then that following Monday, 23rd of September is when we launch campaign 1. And then a week later, we will take applications in for campaign 2. And then Monday, 21st of October, launch campaign 2 and review campaign 1. So there we go. 3 announcements. What we consider a real opportunity for Circle hosts. Have you guys got any questions? I'm sure you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting. If you're doing the marketing campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and we all have different sort of client profile, different personas that we're trying to, what's the word? Ideal clients
to target, yes.
To target. How will you do that?
Well, the great thing about digital marketing is you can be highly targeted. So the targeting for your campaign will be based on your member persona that you give us as part of the documents. The reason why we want to do it all at once is so that we get, of course, it will be co-branded between the two of them, between your brand, as in the Circle brand, or Course brand, and Bizmerang. But we will then get maximum residual benefit when we do all of it together. So although all your courses can be, or all your target audience can be outside of Northern Ireland if you want, I suspect, and it's only a suspicion, that about 50% of our budget will be spent within Northern Ireland. And it's that brand, residual brand awareness that we want to get from grouping them all and pushing them all at the same time. But you will have your own independent campaign within that digital marketing campaign.
Mm-hmm. And at that stage, will people be aware of the price that it is to join each circle?
Yep. Yeah. No. So when you create a circle, or when you set up the payments, you'll see that in fact every circle will have its own landing page. And there is when you set up payments, there's you can set up there's 2 types of plan. There's an external plan and an internal plan. So an external plan is one that is targeted at people outside Bizmerang. And so you would be targeting people and bringing them straight to the landing page, where, bearing in mind that by the time they get to the landing page, they're in that zero moment of truth, not that first moment of truth. Okay, so if you've done your prep properly, you will understand what messaging you need to be putting in that stimulus and awareness phase, and then that zero moment of truth, when people are doing the research, will be that landing page. So it depends on your advertising, whether you want to put the price in at the very start in your advertising, or whether you want to restrict it to the landing page.
And there's a question I forgot to ask, but if you do a course, your course has to be inside your circle, isn't that right?
No, not at all. The course is a separate element.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can quite easily do a course and a circle. So, for example, Wantrepreneur, we'll have a course and we'll also have a circle. There is a price for the course and there is a price for membership of the circle, but there's also a bundle price where you can buy the two of them.
Yeah,
you buy a bundle plan. So with each. So you have, in that case, you'll have 3 plans. You'll have a plan that is purely for the course. A plan that is purely for the circle, and then a bundle plan which has both of the course and the circle in it. And you would probably actually do double that up, because you would have an external plan for each and an internal plan for each.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But the £500 that you want, can that be paid in batches rather than £500 in one go? For those who don't maybe have £500 lying around.
Part of the reason why we're giving you 8 weeks warning is that so it wouldn't be required until, I can't remember what the date is. I think it's something like the 20th of September.
Oh yeah, so you can go out and sell yourself in the street then and make enough before then.
But you know what? Now that I've turned 50, I've given up doing that. I wasn't doing so well.
Okay.
The point being, Alison, is that actually it is an incredibly good investment for you guys. Yes, you know, because you guys get should in theory get 10 times better return than we're getting out of it. Okay. Then go on. Any more?
Sorry. If people join your circle and then they leave, well, I suppose then you just get the profit for the time that they're there, don't you, really?
What do you mean?
If someone joins, like we have this whole marketing campaign, and sometimes you might get people who you don't really want in there who'll join anyway.
Yep.
And then they decide it's not for them. You'll only have the profit for the time that they.
Well, actually, not necessarily, because your payments, you could set it up as that they can pay monthly or annually for anything. So they can have, or a mixture of both. So where you offer them both, so you can have it as, so you can set up a plan that says, this is only monthly, or another plan that this is only annually, or a third plan that is, or a third option is where they have the option to do either.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Hang on a second, Eve. Any more, Alison?
No, that's it. That's me.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure we can come back to you. Yes, Eve.
I actually think I have way many more questions that are better answered after I do some of the masterclass training. But initially, the piece about the addressing the courses and things externally and internally, that's really helpful.
Yep.
I think that in terms of our commitment as the initial circle leaders to each other's groups, I mean, I'm prepared to say to both Karen and Alison that, you know, I'm in. You'll be able to. I mean, I don't know how far that'll go towards your 500 quid, but I'm prepared to sign on and say yes, I'm committed for whatever 6 months or a year to see that your circles get going, because I'm really passionate about both the Sanity Circle and the Word is Microbiome.
Can I just stop you there for a second? So you can create secret plans where you can give free membership to friends and family and all that sort of stuff if you want to.
But on that note and to that end, when we set up the payment platform, for instance, there are people who, if they join, let's say at the outset, my Empowering Change group, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think that's going to be a lead-off group. I think Catalyzing Connections and Ulster Connections are far more in keeping with what your plan is in terms of your overall digital marketing, connections, networking, etc. So to be honest with you, I see those as kind of quietly developing and gaining momentum in the background. However, if I say to people, so the normal price of my group would be between $300 and $360 for 12 weeks. My plan had been to say if people sign up for $10 a month for just the generic group without the course, that the membership would be free if somebody signed up for a course. So would we be able to take a year's membership or a 6 months membership or a 3 month membership in a single payment? Or is it always going to have to be monthly?
No, that's what I'm saying. You can take an annual payment or a monthly payment. Those are the only two you can take at the moment. And there is not the option at the moment to do a quarterly or 6 monthly, because bear in mind that there is the connection between the payments and the membership. So if people stop paying, it kicks them out. So at the moment, it's only monthly and annually.
That works perfectly for me in terms of the price of the course. Then I can give them a free membership for a year or 2 years or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So your plan would then have, so if you would create a plan where they got the course and they got 12 months membership for free.
Got it.
You'd set the price for that, and that would be secret or whatever way, whatever we want to do it.
That works.
Okay.
And
Any more?
One more on the revenue sharing, where, for instance, there's a group coordinator and an administrator, or there are 2 or 3 group hosts.
Yeah.
Do we have the capacity to handle that, or is that my task to handle?
That's your task. So we have a named host or lead host on a circle. And when it comes to, the way it'll work is in the first day of every month, we will draw down and split as per what Stripe is telling us, or which plan collected. And that might take, certainly to start off with, it's going to take us a little while. So we're saying that 14 days later, you will receive payment into your account for, the Circle host will receive all payments into the account for the collections for the previous month, calendar month. So at which point, and then it'll all become with a spreadsheet and you can check it and all that sort of stuff. And then it's up to you if you are co-hosting with other people or whatever separate deals that you have done with those guys, that's fine, you crack on. But no, we have one host per circle.
So as you know, I have a secret group set up to have a group of people meeting together. And while I know that we're going live with these designated circles, will these secret circles still be able to exist without promotion?
Yes, absolutely. So as I said, you don't have to take up this offer if you don't want to. If you want to run your course, your circle and course and all that sort of stuff, certainly you'll need to from September be charging them a nominal £5 per month and giving them the first 30 days free, etc. But other than that, no, it's entirely up to you. So. Sorry, yes, it won't be entirely free. Each member must be paying at least £5 a month.
Okay, because in that sense, what I had in mind, and it's not something that I've put out there, because this particular secret group is serving a purpose of bringing a group of 10 or 12 people together.
Sorry, you keep dropping out, sorry.
10 or 12 people together. The idea for which is really to introduce them to the platform, but for us to use it as communications within a board.
Yep.
I have said to them that come the 1st of October, I need their commitment on the 1st of September, but come the 1st of October, there'll be a payment.
Yep.
And then I am more than happy to take the percentage and put it back into the organization or whatever the case may be.
That's entirely up to you. But
right.
The quickest and easiest way to do it is just for them to sign up for a monthly payment of £5 a month, which, if I'm correct in assuming that the sort of people that you're dealing with is going to be really not a big issue, then the great thing is that then we already have their credit card details if they want to join other circles.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well done, and thank you both for considering the £5 a month option, because I think in the early days, I don't imagine ever defaulting to that after 6 months or a year. But I think in the early days, it gives us the capacity to tell people, come on board, join 2 or 3 or 4 groups, and then pick.
Exactly.
Okay. The thing about the mastermind course is that the primary aim of Gina Bianchini in that course is to show you how to create a circle that, and these are, I can't remember exact words, but to create a circle that people want to pay for and that almost runs itself. Okay. So that is the primary aim of that mastermind group or that mastermind course. So yes, I think actually it'll be a lot quicker than 6 months if you stick to the learnings and the principles and produce the content plans and all that sort of stuff. And that is also why, one of the main reasons why before we make the investment in your circles is that we need to see that you have done that work, because I know you will seriously benefit from it. I know I did. Okay. Karen?
Okay, so thanks again. Super.
No worries.
A couple of questions that haven't been asked. You mentioned, Guy, a critical mass.
Yep.
A crucial number of people. Approximately how many members per circle is that?
It depends entirely on the circle.
Okay.
Entirely on the circle. We don't know. It's and also how engaged they are. It's how good the quality of the content that's going in there. So, for example, if you look at microbiome, there's probably 6 or 7 contributors.
Tops.
Yeah, or maybe 4 or 5. And I would suspect then that actually, I don't know how many members you've got listed in there.
I think there are about 22.
Yeah. Okay. So that would suggest to me that's almost exactly as I was saying before. If you've got 22 members in there or 23 members in there, you have probably got 10 active or 10 or 12 active, of which 6 or 7 are lurking.
Okay.
There'd normally be a certain percentage in any community will be the ones who'll be active, and then a certain percentage will be lurking, etc. Even in the Facebook group, the Bizmerang Facebook group, I would say the percentage of active members is probably 10 to 20%.
Okay.
If that even, yeah. So it shows you how many people you need to have that level of engagement and critical mass going. Yeah. So, I mean, I was thinking about it earlier on. So we have 2,800 members of the Facebook group. We've got 203 members of the app. And I would expect that would naturally grow to about 280, almost exclusively with the people coming from the Facebook group. So about 10% of the Facebook group are coming into the app. I would also suspect that 280 will, when we start charging people, that if we don't grow it, will drop down to about 25 to 30% of 280. So something like 60 or 70 members.
Okay.
Which is why we have to get the quality of the circles up. But once they're in and paying, and it pays for your time. Or it should do, or certainly make it worthwhile.
Yeah. Okay. Super. Thank you. And then another question. So we have circles, and we all have members in our circles. Whenever the payment wall goes up, how will those existing members then see, oh no, there's a payment. You know, one day there won't be a payment wall, and then the next day there will be.
This is something that we need to cover, I think, in one of our CLC meetings on another Thursday night. But it's essentially about giving lots of warning, saying this is coming.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that there is a way of migrating your existing members in, rather than having them to go out and come back in again and join as a member. Because it was one of the questions that was asked when they first announced it. There were a lot of people. So there are mighty networks out there with 9,000 or 10,000 members in them. And where this was going to be an issue.
So it won't be a case of the payment wall goes up, existing members haven't paid, so they're all chucked out, and then we've got to go back and try and recruit them back in again.
No. They will be asked to be made to start paying.
Yeah.
But no, I can't remember the process, but they have thought about this in the migration. So I can't answer it directly now, but I know it is well considered.
Okay, super. Okay.
Super.
Mm-hmm. Only one other small question. My link. So when I think we are able to like copy and paste the instance join link for each of our circles. How do I know? I think it was Susanna Kilmova. I sent her the link via Messenger, Facebook, PM. Private message via the Facebook Messenger thing, and she came back and said, "Oh, that link didn't work." Mm-hmm. So I said, I then emailed her the link, and it did work, and she joined. That's fine. But I know if I receive a link and it doesn't work, I'm out. I don't go back.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The landing pages for each of the plans is brand new. And so, and as I say, that's why they have specifically set this up as external and internal. So when you send somebody a link to an external one, I don't know if that same issue would occur. I don't know until we've tried it, to be perfectly honest. But the whole idea being is that they are taken into a process of joining the Bizmerang network and taken straight to your circle. So at the moment, for example, when you invite people in, I know this is a thing that's been bugging Eve for a while now, is that when you invite people in, they then have to go and find your circle and all that sort of stuff. My understanding is that issue is fixed in this.
Okay.
It seems.
Oh, you just muted yourself, Eve. Oh, there you go, back again now.
It seems to be because the folks who have joined the secret circle seem to be coming straight in. I get a message to welcome them, but they're in the circle and commenting.
Good. Okay. Okay. Cool.
That's all my questions for now. Thank you.
Okay. Well, please, if you do have any other, is there any other questions on the call now? No? Okay.
I'll go ahead and turn off then the...
Yeah, do you want to go and turn off the... Well, actually, before you go, let me just say is that there is... feel free to ask either PM me directly within Bizmerang, or if you do have questions, just post them in the CLC, the Circle Leader Circle, because actually we're all in a learning process here. And if you've got that question, no doubt other people will feel the same. All right. So please stick them in there. And as I say, if I don't know the answer straight away, I know where to get them. The fact is, I asked a question in the Circle Host Circle this evening on Mighty Networks, and I got an answer from Gina herself. Hey!
Your best friend.
That was that bloody pain in the ass again. No, and she responded within about 30 seconds, actually, which is really good. So she obviously didn't have very much to do.
Have I not been working with everybody here on that whole self-deprecating thing? I don't know. Just saying.
You know, I gave up that British side of my character a long time ago. Anyway, any more? Okay, cheers, Shane. Do you want to just
Yep, I'll wrap it up. Okay, I'll wrap up the recording.
Thanks,
so
everybody.
thank you, Guy. Thank you for that. Very great presentation. So thank you.